I first heard of the alkaline diet a few years ago. A colleague of a friend mentioned it at a dinner party. It immediately made me wonder, say, what? And it also made me realize we should never discuss diets when helping ourselves to dinner. Totally ruins the mood. This guy went on to explain how we get sick if the body becomes too acidic. Apparently, eating alkaline foods and drinks like fruits, veggies, and juices helps bring the balance back while detoxifying the body and helping it recover more quickly. So, just another way of saying eat your veggies. So, it got me thinking about how the body's acid-alkaline balance actually works and how it's maintained. It turns out it's pretty fascinating and is happening inside us all the time in very complex ways without us even knowing. Also, it just so happens that changing the pH balance in your body is not that easy. It only happens in extreme conditions or if you're very unwell. Before I give too much away, let's start at the beginning. But first, what is pH? Here's how sciencebased-medicine.org puts it. From a chemical point of view, an acid is a molecule that can donate a proton or accept an electron pair in a reaction. A base, something alkaline, is the opposite. It can accept a proton or donate an electron pair. Acids and bases, therefore, neutralize each other. The measure of how acidic or basic a substance is pH, with 7 being neutral, less than 7 being acidic, and greater than 7 being basic. This is also a logarithmic scale, so a pH of 5 is 10 times more acidic than a pH of 6. Now, the pH level of your blood is around 7.4 within a range of 0.05 pH above and below. So it's slightly alkaline. Our bodies take great care in making sure that the pH of the blood stays there. Your lungs exhale carbon dioxide, which is slightly acidic, and your kidneys filter out any excesses in the blood, whether they are acidic chemicals or basic. The fact is that your body is really good at maintaining its pH levels in a process called homeostasis. It's through this process that your body maintains its chemical and hormonal balance. Way better than I can balance my checkbook. Makes me a bit envious of my innards, to be honest. The processes are incredibly complex and beyond the scope of this video, where I'm just trying to set the foundation for this topic. If you want to dive into this more, you can check out the details in the links I've given in the description box. Even more fascinating is that each bodily fluid and tissue has slight variances on how basic or acidic they are, which is a function of what they do. Even that is kept in check automatically inside you. This basically means your body isn't affected much by what you consume, and even if it is, it will maintain its own balances anyway. It's super hard to shake that balance unless something goes seriously wrong. So how does your body balance its pH levels? There are a bunch of processes that all contribute to homeostasis, but there are two organs that contribute the most. Your lungs. Carbon dioxide is slightly acidic. That's why club soda has that slightly sour taste. Your lungs' main job is to take carbonic acid and carbon dioxide out of your blood so you can exhale them. As the acid levels in your blood rise and fall, so does the amount of carbon dioxide you exhale. Your lungs are doing this right now inside you, and you don't even notice it. Just breathe. And your body is balancing its pH levels through your lungs. If things go wrong, you get respiratory acidosis or alkalosis, where the CO2 levels in the blood is too high or too low. Symptoms of acidosis include for both metabolic and respiratory. We'll get to the metabolic bit a little bit later. Fatigue, sleepiness, shortness of breath, confusion, anxiety, and even tremors or sweating. Alkalosis, on the other hand, makes one feel confused, shaky, breathless, or dizzy. This happens when your lungs are unable to regulate carbon dioxide levels in the blood due to an injury or an illness like asthma, COPD, sleep apnea, or pulmonary fibrosis, which is the thickness or scarring of lung tissue. It's usually sudden and hard to diagnose, but the kidneys can usually compensate, which brings me to the kidneys. Another super easy thing you do is pee. It happens all the time. With me, a little bit more than most people, and enough for my wife to roll her eyes and mutter, "Again?" But that's because I stay well hydrated. And the consequence of that is that I need to dehydrate more frequently. These magical beans in your back filter all of your blood and perfectly balance bicarbonates and acids with ridiculous accuracy. That's why, even if you somehow manage to change your blood pH, your kidneys will just let you piss it out. That's why, even if your pee comes out acidic, your blood will be exactly as it always was. Another reason why measuring urinary pH doesn't tell the whole story of what's going on inside you. Now, if things go wrong, this happens when your kidneys can't filter out the acids in your blood quickly enough. The most common reason for this is having too many ketones in your blood if you have diabetes, otherwise called diabetic ketoacidosis. So if you have diabetes and are thinking of trying the ketogenic diet, please talk to your doctor before doing anything. It can also be caused by strenuous exercise, lack of oxygen, or even severe dehydration. If anything were to go wrong with any of these organs, tiredness, nausea, headaches, and more serious symptoms could start setting in, and you would need to get taken to the hospital before you turn into the alien from the Aliens movies. You know, with the acidic blood that can burn through several decks of a spaceship. Okay, I'm kidding. But you get the point. The consequences of a pH imbalance in your body are far more severe than simply gaining weight or developing chronic diseases, as some people like to say. When you eat something, anything, your food goes into the stomach, which is filled with a soup, metaphorically speaking, unless you are eating a lot of soup, of hydrochloric acid mixed with digestive enzymes that disinfect the food and start breaking it down. Then the food moves into the smaller intestines where the gallbladder releases bile, an alkaline digestive juice produced by the liver that neutralizes the acid and continues to process the food. This essentially makes the food nearly neutral on the pH scale, at least enough for the rest of your digestive system and your gut flora to continue processing without feeling too uncomfortable. So whether you're eating fried foods, meats, or veggies, it all becomes acidic in your stomach. If there are any bases, they'll react to make it all slightly acidic. Then they all become neutral in the intestines when it comes in contact with bile from your liver. None of that affects your blood or any other body part in any way, unless you get acidity, which is primarily in your stomach. And for that, you need to eat something alkaline, like an antacid. So, as you can see, even when we eat those fruits and vegetables I mentioned earlier, none of these really make a difference to the pH balance in your blood or the rest of your body. So, there's really no way in hell any of these can have any effect on curing any infection or disorder of any sort, even COVID. The only good thing about them is that they're fruits and vegetables, and they are good, nutritious food that will keep you healthy and more capable of fighting off diseases naturally. I got a WhatsApp forward with a whole bunch of pH values on it for some fruits and veggies. Let's see if we can figure out if this list is legit or not One hint: acidic things taste sour and alkaline things taste bitter. Now go. So, what did you think? First, bananas and lime. It says it's 9.9 pH, when they are really around 5 for bananas and about 2 or 3 pH for limes. Yellow lemon, also about the same. This message says 8.2 pH. Again, citric fruits are not alkaline. They are acidic. And lemons are also around 2. Avocado. This one says pH 15.6. Seriously? Avocados are more alkaline than bleach. Try putting avocados into your pool to sanitize it next time. FYI, avocados are slightly acidic at around 6 pH. Garlic, pH 13.2. That's more like it. At least we're back in the scale. But wrong once again. Bleach has a pH of 13. Garlic has a pH of 5.8. Mango, pH 8.7. Wrong again. Mangoes are around 6.2. Mandarins, pH 8.5. Nope. Closer to 3.5. Pineapple, 12.7 pH. Pineapples are sour, so their pH is acidic and around 3.4 or 3 to 4 pH. Watercress, 22.7 pH. Really? Wow. That's like asking your kid what percentage he got in his exams, and he replies, 30,000. Really? 30,000%? Yeah. Moving on. Oranges, 9.2 pH. Gee, why do I even bother? And this WhatsApp message says we can cure COVID if we eat these fruits and veggies that it claims are alkaline when they are all acidic. It got each and every one of these pH values wrong. Do you think they got anything right in the message? No, me neither. So, do you have any questions about this? Or have you experienced acidosis or alkalosis yourself? Share your story in the comments. And have you heard weird stories about different foods and vegetables that have crazy pH levels? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And I will see you next time. Until then, stay rational.